All right, let's see here. So this is obviously Halo Infinite, and I'm just gonna be working on a map that I started this morning. So I just honestly, just for fun, I really love working in Halo Infinite's Forge, making maps. I've made probably 4 or 5 maps now, which I think are pretty cool, and I like making board games just as much as I like making stuff for video games too. It's fun. Thinking about the mechanics of how people move around a map honestly is feels somewhat similar to making board games. So I am I'm looking forward to hopefully some people joining in. And even if they're not, I'm still going to be talking about my game, Rocket Ranchers, which we're hoping to get on Kickstarter here at the end of September. So yeah, this is the map. So obviously, when I start a map, I typically start it with just orange blocks, these ugly things, and then I slowly come in, and you can kind of see there's some overlay here. Sorry for spinning around so fast. I slowly come in, and I'm just going to see if I can get under this and show. But basically, this is all just very blank, simple pieces. And if you notice, there's just stuff underneath. So I've gone in and I've added some grass to the surfaces. And this here I'm going to end up changing into a Forerunner system. So just give you guys a quick overview of how this map is going to work before we get into talking about Rocket Ranchers. So basically, the way the Mist map works is you are able to come up over the map here, come back down around here, work your way to the other side of the map where you can get to the enemy. There's also a way to go up through here. I haven't done any lighting in there yet, but you can go up through there and get around to the other side. You can also come up here to the top of the map and make your way through here and use that as a way to get back to base or to get to the opponent base. But you may be able to do it with I might do some repulsors or grapple hooks to be able to get back up, but kind of like this being sort of like a one-way route to sort of drop in behind enemy lines, so to speak. So yeah. Oh, and then there is also, we'll jump down in here. So this is it. So obviously, like I said, you can run up here and be able to go in and go that way. But just for fun, I threw in, because I was able to, I threw in this little underground passageway here that I've sort of been working on. There's a little more light, I think, than I originally intended being in here, but this isn't bad. It's not bad. And you can see it's casting shadows, which is nice. Not 100% sold on it yet. I think I might want to go just a little bit darker. But for now, it works, and I like it. Also, if you look down there, the stalactites continue down, and they make it their way down below. So, I'm pretty pleased with how that looks. And you can, repulse someone in there if you're fighting, might be able to fall in there. That'd be cool. And then this side, I'm planning on making this side look more like a mine entrance. So it'll have, more like UNSC stuff along the walls here and have it be a little bit more built. And I think I'm going to have some wood panels and stuff like that that will be able to be broken away, that sort of thing. And then, like I said, this is going to be all Forerunner. So purples, blues, that sort of thing. Haven't quite decided yet how that's going to be. But yeah, so like I said, I started this map, very basic building blocks, and I'm slowly working my way up. Oh yeah, and then there's also the cliff that I made here. So this is going to be sort of just like the edge of the map. That obviously, if you haven't worked in Forge before, won't be there at the end. It's just telling me where the bounds of the map are. So you actually can build in all of this, which is pretty insane to me. But yeah, so this will be the edge of the map. And you'll be able to jump off of here. I'm going to have a death, sort of like a death thing down here, so that if you do jump down, it instantly kills you. So why don't I just go ahead and do that? So yeah, so getting in a little bit, talking about what I do. I work in the board game industry, and I am a game designer. I'm a publisher. hopefully, if the Kickstarter succeeds. And then I also work in the board game industry as the Game Box. I've worked on Frosthaven, Gloomhaven, Jaws the Lion, some games from Red Raven, Grandpa Beck's Games, Pandasaurus, and a variety of others. And just, I've had a blast working for a bunch of different publishers, and now, honestly, I just want to make my own thing as well. But I still am going to be working as the Game Box until that business is fully making money. Now, where is... I know I have... Is it Navmesh? No. Volumes. There we go. So yeah, there's going to be a kill volume. So, kill volumes, and I'm just telling folks, because not everybody who watches this stream is going to be into video games and Halo, but I am. So, we got to push this right up against there, and then we're going to lower it down just a little bit more, and then we're going to spread it out. That way, if anybody jumps off the map, they die. That's the idea. Let's see if it works. Whee! Ah, see? Works perfect. Alright. Yeah, honestly, I leave the little setup thing just because it's nice to be able to come back here and grab your stuff. Alright. Yeah, so I like that kill volume. But now the question is, where did it go? Because I think I can continue it underneath. Let me see if I can grab it. Alright, I'll just make a new kill volume. Alright, so this one is going to go down... Okay. Yeah, so we got to get this one here down inside. So that if somebody falls in here, they die. And we'll make sure it goes just a little bit that way as well. Alright. No one's going to be able to get in there. Alright, so let's make sure this works. Yay! I'm dead. Alright. So, there's that. You know, as much as I enjoy it, I think I'm going to turn off the sound of the distant battle. I think I'm just going to change it to light wind. Kind of like shipwreckage. That's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool backdrop. Alright, so what's next? What's next? You know what? I'm going to work on this side. This is really going to test my ADHD too, to see whether or not I'm able to hold a conversation while working on the map. So if I go silent for a little bit while I work on this, apologies in advance. Alright. I'm going to have to fix that seam at some point. Yeah. Alright, let's lower that down. Then we can kind of bring that in here. Apparently my controller batteries are low. Of course they are. There we go. That doesn't look half bad. raise this up just a little bit. There we go. See how that looks. That's better. That's just make sure we don't have that over here. Okay. And then is that, so that's nice and smooth now as well. So that looks good. All right, I'm gonna come over here and do the same little trick. Yeah. All right. So basically what I try to do when I'm working on these maps is just try to get something that looks reasonably realistic. I'm not Infinite Forges by any means. Those guys are amazing. But I still try to do a good job. All right. There we go. I mean, that looks pretty good. I like this a lot. All right. I think I'll probably end up adding like some rocks on this side or something like that, just to kind of, because you need to have cover when you're coming at this thing. It can't just be bonkers. But I also don't want to, like, I have this idea of being able to drive the mongoose around. So the question is, like, what can you get away with, you know? Hey, look, it works. Nice. Cool. Alright. So let's go ahead, start making this. Let's make this look like a thing. Okay, so I think, would it be weird to have, like, an entrance light? Would that be, yeah, I should. But let's start with, can we get away with, like, supports? Beams. What kind of beams we got? No, those are just those beams. I might have to go to the accents. Let's see here. Supports. Oh, there we go. See? Like, that stuff's cool. No. Just as a tip, one thing that I find works really well. Yeah, see, that's not what I want. Ooh, there we go. I know this one. This one's cool. So yeah, that kind of works. So yes, so I can like bring this in, see? And then make this sort of look like a scaffolding. And then you can stretch it, which is one of my favorite things that you can do in this. And I'm gonna narrow this down. I don't want this to be like, yeah. There we go. And then another side over here. Yeah, see? That looks pretty cool. Obviously, I'm going to add to that, but that actually looks pretty sweet. Welcome to the feed. I'm just working, in case you're just joining, I am working on building a map in Halo Infinite Forge, and I'm also talking about my game Rocket Ranchers. So that's a totally normal, completely normal combination of things. Okay. So yeah, so just getting back into talking a little bit about ranchers. So I've been working on Rocket Ranchers. You can check out our game at binkstinks.com. Binkstings.com/rocket-ranchers. Or you just go to binkstings.com, you'll find it in there. Make sure I can get under this. Yeah, I can get under that. Sweet. I don't know how I feel about that color, but it works and it's functional. I like it. Hey, thanks for following, Brian. Appreciate it. I am... Now I gotta find some stuff that actually... Oh, see, that's cool. See, I can work with that. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. That actually looks like a thing. I don't know how I feel about that, though. That's kind of cool, but yeah. There's scaffolding. That's kind of cool. All right, I'll keep working with this. So yeah, Rocket Ranchers is a 2 to 6 player card game, for pretty much any age. I honestly originally designed it to be able to have a game to play with my son, which is as adorable as it sounds. Yes, I know. I wanted to be able to play a game with my kid and have it be something he really liked. And he was a huge fan of the game Slime Rancher. And he really liked, collecting animals and that sort of concept. And I'd been working on this game, which was going to be about farm animals. And it had no space theme. There were no space cats. And with Kathy's help, who is our developer, and my wife, she came up with the idea of using polyominoes and to be able to draft from a 4x4 grid of cards. And thus, as they say, is history. And now we have our Rocket Ranchers game. And it's... Jeez, that actually looks pretty cool. I actually kind of like this. Okay. Keep working with it. Keep working with it. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm gonna have to figure out something for this wall, though. Something for that wall. Should I just do stone? I mean, I could. Yeah, you know what? I'll take advantage of this. I'll make it look cool. I'll make it look like something UNSC. We'll see. So yeah. So the other thing to keep in mind is I've been working on Rocket Ranchers for a really long time. All right. So, as I was saying before my controller died on me, let's see if we should bring this out just a little bit. Yeah. I like it and all, but... I mean, that's not bad. That kind of brings it out a little bit more. It's kind of cool. Oh, I kind of like that. Alright, I'll play with that a little more. So anyways, let's see, I gotta put in some UNSC walls. Um, let's see here. What? I'm trying to think. Just some ways in which the game has changed over time. Oh, that looks good. There we go. Just bring that in just a bit. I mean, that looks pretty sweet. And then I'll bring in another one down below. That works. There we go. Yes. Yes, I like that. Alright. So that also means we're going to have to change these based on their materials. Just because they're not going to look right otherwise. Yeah, I actually kind of like the black. I like the black on there. That's kind of cool. All right. So, question is, what sort of metal could we like put in behind this that would make this work? I feel like we could do something cool. In case you're just joining, I am doing an AMA about my Rocket Ranchers card game that I have releasing on Kickstarter in September. Assuming all things go correctly. And I'm talking about it while playing Halo Infinite Forge, because that makes total sense. It doesn't. It's just... this game is a space game, I guess. If you wanted to count it like that. Honestly, I just really like playing Halo Infinite Forge, and this is just kind of a way for me to talk about my game and also be able to play Infinite and not feel guilty for spending hours working on this stuff. So this is a map I've been working on that I'm calling Prominence. Like I said, this in the middle is going to eventually be Forerunner Tech. I've got this little cave down below, and then there's another way to be able to get through inside that building as well to the upsides of the base. I just haven't played any Halo Infinite maps that utilize a hill as a mechanism just to really traverse. Just because there's so much to be said about like having high ground and having to go up and down hills, and part of me thinks this could be just really interesting and different and cool. So that's why I'm using it, to do something different. And then you can go through here to sort of drop down as well. But we'll see how that goes. It might be a little OP, I don't know. But I think this would probably be the fastest. Plus you can take a mongoose across the map as well. So yeah, a lot of Rocket Ranchers marketing has been on our Space Cats. The original Space Cat was actually based on my cat Charlie, who sadly passed away a few years ago. But she's going to be returning as a promo card that we just announced today on our pre-campaign updates. So I'm very happy about that. And I don't know, maybe there's more promo cards coming. I'll just have to sort of like wait and see. Who knows if I'm doing anything like that. Yeah, that was totally a big hint. I definitely am. So there's definitely promos. And by listening to this, you know that. And there's actually some really cool promos that we're working on that I will not talk about. So you're just going to have to wait and enjoy. Oh, that could be cool. Let's bring that down here. All right. Let's do that. Then we'll bring it out from the wall just a bit. cool. That's cool. I like that. It's just like a little greebly. It looks cool. I'm happy with this. I'm very happy with this. Okay. But I gotta add some other stuff in there because this is just like super boring. Ooh. Look, there's a generator. I don't want the road or anything. See, I could have used a truss. Now that I'm looking at it, that might have actually worked really well. Oh, I could do that over here. That's kind of cool. Sort of like keeping the mountain at bay. that you know, that kind of works. Yeah, that sort of blocks the entire path, so that doesn't work there. I like this. It's a little bit weird, but I don't know, it just kind of works. And then, see, it's nice to have in a map, I've discovered the hard way. Having, you know, cave side for callouts and mine side for callouts. I don't expect this to at all be, you know, ranked Halo, but it's nice to have that when you're playing multiplayer games, to have callouts for places. So regardless, I think I'm going to add a light just because I want to. So I know I recently had somebody ask me what our plans are for Rocket Ranchers beyond just the base game. And honestly, one of the things we really want to do is we want to treat every game we produce sort of as like the start of an IP. You know, we want to very much treat it like a property. It's just really important to me that... Hold on. There we go. There we go. That looks nice. There we go. See? Okay. That might be too bright, but we'll keep playing around with it. I feel like I should make it like a blinking red side. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, you know what? I think I added bounce light. And I think that's why it's not as dark as it was before when I previously rendered. I'll have to render it again later and see. This is feeling acceptable, but I feel like it should be... There we go. I like that better. That's cool. I don't know what this is, though. Is that... Oh, okay. Alright, alright. Let me see if I can lower this just a bit. And get away with it. Okay. See, that's gonna work well. See if I can get it up to there. And then I'll grab this and bring it down just a bit. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring this back up though, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Okay. Alright. Just don't like the fact that... Yeah. Nothing I can really do about it, though. There we go. Alright. Oop. There we go. That works. Still a little bit. That's acceptable enough for me. Hides that stuff pretty good. Okay. So, yeah, so in terms of plans. So obviously, like I said, we wanted to treat it like an IP, or an intellectual property, where we make at least, 3 games that take place within the universe of that game. Now, our next game, which is Silk and Venom, which is about spiders catching bugs on their webs, that one we're hoping to start a line of games involving nature. So that will be sort of its own line as well. And then with Rocket Rangers, we already have one expansion planned, which is our severe weather expansion. And then I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping to be able to do one based on... oh, there we go. I could do this. Trapezoids. Oh, that works great. No, I don't want not trapezoid. Ugh, triangles. Unisy triangle. Oh my god, that's exactly what I need. No, that's a horrible triangle. No. Pyramids? No. Oh, I could do ramp. I could do a ramp. I could do a ramp. Alright. Which technically I already did. Wait a minute. Could I... Did that... I feel like that worked. Holy crap, that worked. Okay. Oh my gosh, it worked. That's perfect. I will accept that as a victory. 100% a victory. So yeah. Got severe weather. We've got a couple other expansion ideas in the works. Nothing that's been play tested yet. But stuff that I know would work just fine. And if Rocket Ranchers does well, then we'll devote our time to it. Right now, we're focusing on Silk and Venom and our third game, which I haven't talked about, and I'm not going to. Probably until Silk and Venom gets announced. Just because, along with my son-loving Slime Rancher, I fell in love with Monomi Park, which is the company behind it. And, you know, I really like the business model that they have, how they treat their staff, which I think is really cool. The way they treat things as they don't have what's called crunch, and they have 40-hour work weeks, and they treat their their staff really well. And that's something that with my... What is my gun doing? What are you doing, gun? Okay, that was cool. Oh, still going? I guess it's zero. Gun, where are you going? Oh my gosh, what's going on? This, folks, is definitely a space cat that is doing this. I'm completely convinced. Space cats are in my game, messing with stuff. That is a very happy gun. Be free, gun. Be free. Go off into the wilderness. Survive. You got this. Come on, gun. How far can you go? I don't want to touch it. I also don't want to, reset anything. Because now I'm happy for gun. Be free, gun. Goodbye. Go back to your peoples. Oh my god. It's still going. How far is it going to go? What is going on? I love my dumpster fire keychain on that because that's what's happening right now. This is... What is going on? Be free, gun. Okay, wait. Does it matter if I go through it? No, apparently not. Apparently there's pass-through here. I mean, I think gun's just going to keep going. My question is that object, is the map bounds? I really want to know if that it'll react to it. And this is what my AMA devolved into, watching a gun fly through space. Okay, come on, gun. No! Oh my god, I think it's going to miss it. But the question is, if it gets outside the bounds, does it disappear? Be free, Winston. Is that the name of the car in Cars? Okay. This is hysterical. How? Okay. Alright, so it's past the bounds. Apparently my gun's just going to keep going off into the distance. It just... it's migrating. Okay, seriously. This is hysterical. I feel like there should be, like... I need to speed this up and do it with the, oh gosh, Benny Hill music or whatever. Oh, I killed it. Oh, I killed it. Oh, I killed it. Oh my god, I feel awful. It was free, and it was happy, and then I made the mistake of pushing a button. Wow. I am a terrible person. I just killed it. I feel like a genuinely terrible person at this point. I don't know what to do about what just happened. Oh wow. I like how my shadows have me floating through space. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rearrange these lights. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Whoa. Not so perfect. Apparently, I screwed that up. There we go. Definitely gets this down inside. Perfect. Perfect. We got that light up there, and we have that light up there. Cool. Alright, let's see. And then we've got this light. Yeah. Alright. So this will definitely be mine side. I feel like I should make this scuffed. I feel like I should do that. Let's see here. How long have I been working in the board game industry now? Gosh. So I've been working in board games for almost 8 years now. Or a little over 8 years, actually. Almost 9 years. I sort of got into the board game industry when my wife was pregnant. Started going to a game night. And the rest, as they say, is history. You know what? I'm going to make those look like rust. I feel like they should be rusty. Let's see here. Is there a rust? Ooh, metal rusted? Iron rough. No. Let's see here. Rusted metal, is that a thing? Skin of creature, porous. Rust 1. That is just a rust color. That is not rust. It's too rusted. It's too rusted. I want like crappy metal. Ooh, no. No, no. Oh. It's not awful, but I also don't hate it. A kind of... Ooh. Ooh, I kind of like this, and it looks like it's sort of like just strapped together. Let's see here. We'll do that, and then we'll get this like super. Then we'll come down here and we'll really grime it up. There we go. Yeah. That looks pretty cool. Kind of like that. I really like that, actually. That's pretty sweet. Okay. And then I'm going to do similar texture here. Oh. That flat out... Yeah, that totally works for me. It just looks like it's concrete embedded embedded in the wall. Yeah, let's just keep doing that. I kind of dig it. Okay. And then let's see if we can change the color on it. It totally looks like really crappy concrete. I love it. All right. And then I can have this be concrete as well. There we go. Oh my gosh, that looks actually really great. That, all right. All right, I'm gonna bring this out. There we go. I'll bring these. Dang. I think... Yeah. So... That's fine. That's fine. I think it's too white, though. Let's do... Alright, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna... I'm not gonna worry about it. All right, so I've got to go in and select all of these. And then I can go in here and I can change this to like a darker gray now. There we go. And then you want to see concrete. There we go. Works for me. I will have to do something here though. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so at the moment I think I'm mostly just trying to get this first game out. But I really want to do additional games in this universe and just really play around with it. And I also have to say, when I was at Gen Con, I met with some publishers and they were extremely highly excited about my game, which was wonderful. But at the same time, another thing that was pretty cool was they were never discouraging. You know, they wanted my game to succeed, even though it's definitely, you know, future competition. And that's one of the things I really love about this industry and being part of making board games. And I also got to meet with some great designers. In particular, I got to chat with Manny Vega for quite a while at a industry event in the afternoon. Manny Vega is the game designer of Flamecraft. And he had some just fantastic advice on making games, one of which he said was know your audience. You know, he wanted his game, Flamecraft, to be very welcoming for, you know, the spouse that doesn't play games. And it does that perfectly. It's a very welcoming game. I mean, it even won the Most Welcoming Game Award. You know, but it is honestly a truly welcoming game. It does exactly what it sets out to do. And I think that's what's funny about that is there's a lot of games where it feels like they don't know who it's made for, you know? And one of the things that I knew with Rocket Ranchers was my target audience that I had for this game was, you know, similar to what Manny was talking about. You know, the spouse that doesn't play games, or the kids that don't want to play board games or card games, and I just want to play video games all day. So I knew I wanted to have really cute characters that got people really excited to play it. And I knew that I needed to make sure that I had... Hold on a second. There we go. I knew that I would need to have really engaging art, and that was really funny. Because kids, honestly, they really enjoy just really silly stuff, and that was I enjoy silly, cute stuff too. But I wanted the game to be visually approachable. I wanted it to be a theme that was just really fun and silly. But I also wanted to make sure that the game was approachable. And so one of the things I knew I wanted to do early on, especially after talking to my friend Jeff Beck with Grandpa Beck's Games, one of the things that, you know, he really pressed upon me that I honestly want to keep as a part of our company is the idea of having multiple versions of a game. So you have the basic rules for people who've, you know, never played board games before, and then, you know, you have the classic rules for you have the, you know, the gamer version of the rules for people who have played board games and are very experienced with board games and want a bit of more of a challenge. And so that's one of the things we do with Rocket Ranchers. So for the base game, you just do the normal scoring and the cats. And then with the advanced rules we bring in where each individual animal that you collect can score in a unique and different way. Along with some other changes that are different in there. So that was something, like I said, that was really, really important to me when I made this game. And it might limit things at first, and limit our audience, but I'm okay with that. I'm honestly okay with that. I don't. this game isn't for everyone. I mean, my wife and I, we love playing Vita Lacerda games, but we also love playing games like Hive. You know, so I know that while not everyone is going to enjoy Rocket Ranchers, because there's going to be people out there who, see it as a filler game, and it is. It's definitely filler game material, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. That just means it's more casual in nature than some other games, and that's totally fine. I see a lot of games coming out, and I don't want to name out any games in particular, just because I don't like doing that. But one of the things that I've noticed is as I said earlier, a lot of these games that come out, it's unclear who their intended audience was. Um, the game seems either, really casual, or just not at all know who their target market is. They're wanting it to be the Vita Lacerda game, but then they make it, too simple, or they want it to be a kid's game, and you have to have a hand of 12 cards in your hand, which my 8-year-old can't do. I don't know many people that can hold a ton of cards in their hand, but you can't make. That's like one of my things that I knew is I don't want to make games that are for kids where you have to hold more than 5 or 6 cards in your hand, or where it's actually necessary. I just find it very. It's sort of I think having a kid. When I was a kid, when I used to play a game called Manipulation, and I would always end up by the end of the day. I would have made. Hold on. Let me see if I can get a version of this stuff. There we go. All right. I would always end up making these games really fun, but gosh darn, I'm trailing off because I'm not paying attention to what I'm saying. This is my ADHD at work, folks. So whenever I would play Manipulation, I'm totally the kid who would have like 30 cards down on the table, and I had a hand of cards, but I didn't want to. You don't want to reveal what your cards are to people, right? So, I honestly ended up taking like a dining chair, and I would have it on the floor next to me, and that is how I was able to keep my cards in my hand. Oh, see, that looks cool. Yeah, I really like this. All right. I really, really like this. Okay, but I'm going to need. Yeah, because eventually that's going to go away. So let's take this and move it. And then I'm going to take this, this, no. This, this, and this. Okay, I'll leave that there for right now. Okay. All right, let's get these in there. Yeah. And then I'll bring this one in as well. I'll do that one a little more of an angle. There we go. When do I expect it to be available in retail? Um, Honestly, I'm really hoping to be able to have the game probably. I'm right now, and I'm still need to talk to our printers. But right now on the Kickstarter page, preview page, I have estimated delivery of September of next year. Obviously, I'm hoping it's faster than that, but with all the weird shipping things that have happened over the past couple of years, I honestly don't want to jinx it. Just putting it bluntly, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna have it by Christmas, and then be that publisher that's like, actually, sorry, it's not coming at Christmas. I don't want to be that publisher. So that was one of the things I knew was really important to me, was not having a release date that was actually wrong, you know. Let me get this down here. Thank you for the question, Brian. Okay. There we go. Perfect. That actually looks really great. There we go. Okay. So then I'm going to have to get rid of this bottom plate, because I'm going to have to do, like, or just, oh, no, I can do flat. I'll do flat. Let's see here. But, yeah, then so mostly I'm going to probably always say a year for a Kickstarter. 99% of the assets are done, so, you know, it could take 9 months. But I don't want to do the Russian roulette of guessing which is going to be when it comes out, you know. That just does not excite me in the slightest. I don't want to play that game. No thanks. That looks cool. Alright, let's bring that over here too. That looks really cool. I like this. I really, really like this. So, yeah. So, this is a map I've been working on. In case you're not joining us in later. This map I'm calling Prominence. And I'm hoping to basically play with the high ground aspect that I feel like so many game match player maps out there are very flat, and I very much just want to play with the idea of just using height as a mechanism in the game. And I say mechanism because I work in the board game industry, and I make board games and card games. I'm hoping to self-publish a game later this year called Rocket Ranchers Herding Cats in Space. Which is as silly and ridiculous as it sounds. And honestly, I'm using this as a platform to be able to play Halo, which I love doing, and also have it be work. So I can sort of make an excuse for it. And be able to do it more often, because I actually really enjoy making maps in Halo. It's really fun. I've been doing it since, gosh, feel free to remind me in the chat. When did Forge first come out? Was it with Halo 3 or Halo 2? Because I feel like it was Halo 3. I feel like that's probably wrong. Um, it's probably completely wrong. That's the thing. Now I want to look it up. Let me see here. I got to reset my thing, so bear with me for a second. There we go. Perfect. And there. I got everything back up and running. Lovely. Okay. So yeah. Mostly, even though I'm playing Halo Infinite, like I said, I'm hardcore board games, and so I want to sort of like make this weird sort of half Halo slash Minecraft, half talk about board games, talk about card games. So honestly, I want to talk about the craziness that was Lorcana this year at Gen Con, because if y'all didn't experience those lines, it was pretty amazing. It blew my mind how many people came for Locana. It was absolutely nuts. What happened to my? I think I put it up here, and then I must have deleted it by mistake. All right, let me grab this one then. Bring that over here. Really? Why is it not phasing through? Okay. All right. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. Perfect. All right, let's see how this is working. I was a full-time photographer for about 15 years before I got into board games. And so I bring a lot of that. I bring a lot of that mentality to when I make games in terms of visuals, and went to school for graphic design. So that's actually most of what I do. I worked on a game called Frosthaven, as well as another game called Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. And was one of the graphic designers. I also worked on the recent RPG. Designed a bunch of the boxes in there. Let's see here. Redid the entire Grandpa Beck's Games lineup. Sort of refreshed the look of their games. I also do some historical stuff, but mostly casual games and RPGs. I also work as an industry consultant with Incredible Dream Studios, which is honestly one of the best companies I've ever worked with. Really, really treat their staff well. My wife is their story editor, so she gets paid full time to write about elves, which is pretty cool. I can't say I'm not jealous. It's a cool job. She really loves it. And she worked on a game called Kinfire Chronicles Night's Fall, which we've been playing through the campaign of. And honestly, it is a really fantastic game. I really love Cephalofair, and I love Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. It's a beautiful game. My only thing is, it's not something I could really bring to game night, because it takes, 4 hours to set up. It's kind of like one of those games where you have a dedicated space in your house for your game, and then you just kind of leave it out, which is fine. There's tons of games that I do that, but it's not something I want to do at game night. So for me, Kinfire Chronicles Night's Fall is great in the fact that you can literally set it up and break it down in like 5-10 minutes. We did multiple demos at Gen Con this year, and it was consistently 1 hour per session, setup and breakdown. And my mind was blown at how fast that game was to get out, set up, play, and you could easily, two and a half hours, get in 2 sessions. You know, which is easily a nice game night. Um, so it really worked for me. I was really, really pleased. And the other thing is too, if you ever have someone leave the campaign, just based on what I've looked at with the game, it feels like you would be able to easily just keep going without them. Just because when you do all the setup for initiative and everything, you you just you choose the number of chits based on the number of players. So in my opinion, you could probably, I think it'd be harder to have people come in. I think you can. I know there's a way to do it. But if you have a person who's just like, yeah, I can't commit committing this, I think you can just keep playing. Which you can't do with a lot of things like, you know, Pandemic Legacy or whatever. So I actually really love that aspect. I think that's one of my favorite things. And it's something I'm very much thinking about for future games for myself, and the fact that, you know, when I think about kids' games, I don't want to have a hand of 12 cards. And when I think about game night, I don't want to have a 3-hour setup for a campaign game that I want to play with my friends. I want it to be as easy as heck to just get up, get out, put away, you know, and be able to enjoy. So, anyways, let's see here. So yeah, currently we are in talks with Lucky Duck France. Sorry, not Lucky Duck France. Lucky Duck Games. Lucky Duck Games. For all of our like overseas stuff. And so like with Lucky Duck Games, they have a thing where if you're a newer publisher and you don't have the resources to be able to handle overseas stuff, they can do it for you. And so we signed a deal with them, and they basically help us find partners in Europe that want to print and publish our game, which is really cool. And it's just been a pleasure working with them. So if you're a new game designer and you feel like, you know, your game is something that people outside the States would enjoy playing, I would absolutely check them out and get in touch with them, because they have been a godsend. They've been just wonderful to work with. Really, really nice people. So definitely check them out if you're hoping to publish a game, or if you are a publisher and you just don't want to deal with your own stuff anymore. I believe their company is World Publishing or something like that. I can't quite remember what the thing is, but it's powered by Lucky Duck. So yeah. Let's see here. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this so far. So I think I'm gonna start on the Forerunner stuff. So I think I'm gonna get to the end. This is gonna be the end of the AMA. And I really appreciate those of you that stopped by. And I hope to be able to do another one of these in the future. I'm planning on doing these every Wednesday night. So if you want to talk about Rocket Ranchers or board games or honestly video games in general, I am happy to chat. But yeah, hopefully have some people here in the future and this thing will become a thing. I don't know if it will, but it gives me an excuse every Wednesday night to play some Halo Infinite Forge and make maps. So anyways, I am going to sign off here. And really appreciate, again, thanks for coming by, and hope to see you again later. Bye-bye.